So today we have the Idobao ID67 Plus, which is a wireless alu keyboard gasket mount. Looks pretty cool. So today we're gonna check it out. Hopefully it's a good keyboard. Thanks to Idobao for sending this, of course. Do not mind the box. The box is just a unit for me. The ones, if you do buy it, you won't receive this box. It will be a better box, so don't worry. All right, let's check this keyboard out. Let's open it up. Right, so first of all, we get our usual Idobao. So from Idobao, we get some slight manuals. Not really a manual, but yeah, usual stuff. Is the ID67 has integrated plate? This one does not. This one is a gasket mount. So the ID67 used to be integrated plate. Starting from the Crystal, ID67 Crystal and ID67, the higher end ID67s do not use the integrated plate anymore. So they're now gasket mount, silicon gasket mount to be exact. So it's good now. So we get that. We have this, which is a very good sign. This is an indicator that this keyboard is a 2.4 gigahertz keyboard. So it's actually very, very nice. I do prefer having 2.4 gigahertz over Bluetooth. I don't know about you guys, but I prefer having 2.4 gigahertz over Bluetooth. I feel like it's a more stable connection, and I can use it for gaming either way. So nice. 2.4 gigahertz is nice, especially on a custom keyboard. It's very, very cool. We get some green Mac keycaps, so it does support Mac. So we got CMD and opt. We get a switch puller. This is nice. It feels like an expensive switch puller, not gonna lie, guys. Ooh, nice. That's a pretty solid. What is this? It's alu switch puller. That's pretty nice. It's actually pretty cool. We get a nice keycap puller that looks genuinely very nice compared to that. Looks very classy. Get a nice white braided cable. Pretty good. Yeah, I'm not gonna use the cable because dispatch cables, right? I haven't seen Idobao in a hot second. They've been constantly releasing keyboards, so they're not off the market. All right, so this is the keyboard. This is keyboard. Comes in a plastic. It's covered by plastic. So this keyboard has switches and keycaps installed, but again, this is hot swap, and then you can change out the switches whenever you want to. You can change the configuration inside, so I would still consider this a custom keyboard and not a pre-built keyboard. So this is the keyboard. Ooh, I'm liking the colors, you know. I'm digging the colors. Ooh, I like that side profile though. That side profile looks fresh. This colorway reminds me of like it reminds me of like a fresh apple, you know. Avocado as well, yeah. It's nice green, actually. The green looks very nice. And I love this though. Look at that. There's like a splatter accent on the back of the keyboard, so it's like an accent piece. You can see it on the top and on the spacebar as well, but it's different on the top. Pretty cool, honestly. It looks pretty fresh. It looks pretty unique. Pretty nice. There's nothing really on the back, so it's okay. But it's a nice green color. Terrazzo style. Yeah, it looks good, right? So the keycaps are provided as well, and of course, if you don't want to use the keycaps, you can always change them out. But this is within the same theme, but it's nice. It's nice. I would say it's nice. We have a USB-C over here. Bezels are looking good. Yeah, that looks like a solid keyboard to me. So this keyboard is a wireless keyboard, guys. So this keyboard can do Bluetooth 5.2. Now it's already Bluetooth 5.2. I didn't even know. Bluetooth 5.2, which is good, and can fit up to 8 devices if I'm not wrong. And it can also do, of course, 2.4 gigahertz wireless, which is great if you're gaming and stuff, because Bluetooth is not that great for gaming, honestly. And of course, you can do wired mode, so that's pretty cool as well, right? And yeah, this keyboard kit, which includes the switches, by the way, and the keycaps and stabs and everything, the total of it is $279. And considering $279, we get a gasket mount keyboard, alu case, keycap switches, stabilizers, wireless, Bluetooth, and 2.4 gigahertz. I think it's a solid deal. I don't think it's too expensive. I think that's like a built keyboard price, so I think it's okay. I think that price point is pretty much okay. So, and the features on the keyboard is, you know, it's worth paying for that price, I feel, because you get a lot of things in that 279 as well. So I think it's okay. I think it's a pretty decent price. Times 67, that's already like 670, plus the keycaps as well. I think it's gonna be the same price if you take the JRIS 65 with the Bluetooth option, and then you buy switches, and then you buy keycaps, and then you buy stabs. It's gonna end up with the same price as this. Plus this has 2.4 gigahertz, so I think it's okay. Plus this is in stock too, so yeah. I'm not saying it's the best price, but I think it's relatively a decent price. I would be okay with it. So they come in with those stabs, as you can see. They are screw-in stabilizers that there is some lube in there. There is like some tiny bits of lube, and you can see the kale jellyfish switch. So pretty nice. 30 seconds of this. So this is full stock ID67 Plus. Full stock ID67 Plus. The switch sounds a bit thin. I think it relatively sounds okay. I think it's 279. $279. I think it's a little bit muted, but I feel like it sounds pretty clean. There's not like hollowness on the board. It is using a PC plate. I can tell it's a PC plate sound, but yeah, it's relatively muted. I think they use silicon somewhere in the keyboard, so yeah, we'll see. We'll see. But I think it sounds stock-wise, it sounds pretty good. Stabs are pretty decent as well. There's not like rattle, there's not like bad switch sounds, and the switch is actually like sounding pretty decent. So I think it's okay. Pretty good stock sound, just not loud. So let's make it louder. Let's open up the keyboard, shall we? Let's open up the keyboard. So yeah, you need to pull this accent piece off if you want to take apart the keyboard, but that is a nice accent piece. Goes on the inside as well. I'm actually quite surprised that the paint actually goes into the inside. By the way, this the ID67 has a different coating this time. Usually it's like that shiny metallic cold finish on an alu. This is now E-coat, so it's a little bit rougher. It's a little bit rougher than I would assume E-coat to be, but yeah, it's slightly a little bit more textured. You can feel a little bit of roughness, but it's okay. New mod Wenser. Oh yeah, we need new mods as well. Okay, so that's the top piece, which is also aluminum. Alu top piece. And here's the insides. That's a nice green inside as well. Okay, so we have the PCB and the plate here, which is interesting. Okay, we can see that it is a gasket mount keyboard, and it is using oh, this is interesting. Okay, so this is, there's some things that I like and don't like about this keyboard. There's something. Okay, so this is. So you can see that the gasket is a silicon gasket, right? But it is actually attached to the plate foam, which is a silicon plate foam. Okay, interesting. So it's attached to the, so the gaskets is actually attached to the plate foam. Now there's a few things that I don't like about that, and it is because, first of all, that means it is required for you to use the silicon plate foam, which is similar to the KBD67 Lite. Not the best idea. I would probably prefer having the gaskets separated. Maybe you can cut it out if you want to, but yeah, it's okay. I guess we'll use the silicon plate foam. So, this one, you can see that it's already fitted in with some screw-in stabilizers, which is great that it uses screw-in stabilizers. If you don't like the stabs that come with this, you can change it with TX stabs, you can change it with Durock, whatever you want. The switches are Kale Jellyfish, it states on their website. So it's a interesting switch, actually. It's like a box stem. It's actually like a circle stem instead. Interesting. It's quite smooth. There's a bit of scratch and spring ping, but yeah, I mean, like, these are included in your kit, so it's pretty much free. I've never tried these Kale Jellyfish before. There's like some green stuff inside it, which is cool. I've never tried these, but yeah, these are pretty interesting. Okay, so oh, wait. Oh. 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 Okay. This is interesting, and this might be a first time I've actually seen this, but I do need to be careful with the PC plate. So it does have like the switch pads. So the switch pads essentially are made of silicon as well, but they're actually connected with the whole thing. So the whole thing, so the gaskets are attached to the plate foam. The switch pads are also attached to the plate foam, which is pretty new, and I've never seen this before, but this is pretty cool. But the annoying bit of this is that if we do want to use it without the, let's say we don't want to use it without the switch pads, we can't, because it's connected with everything, right? I think it's good. I think it's great for people who don't really want to like open up the keyboard too much and stuff. But I think personally, having the gasket, the flex cut, and sorry, the gasket, the switch pad, and the plate foam connected together, it doesn't really open too much customizability. So yeah, there's pros and cons to this. Makes everything in one thing, which is, I guess, cost saving too, but yeah, it's okay then. So yeah, there's the Out Yang linear switches, which actually fit very well and nicely to the case color. Yeah, let's put back the keycaps on it. Let's see if the switch change makes a difference in the sound. Alright, let's hear the sound test of this with the Out Yang linear switches, plus rain noises in the back. So again, this is the ID67 Plus, awesome keyboard, pretty nice. Has its flaws, but it's not, it's not perfect, but it's pretty good for its price point, I would say. Again, the case is aluminum case as well. We have a PC plate, silicon gasket mount, silicon plate foam, silicon switch pad. We have the stock stabs and stock keycaps as well. So Yeah, not that bad. Not that bad. I would say the only thing that this board is a little bit annoying is that it is very muted because of all of the silicons inside of the keyboard. And yeah, I feel like having the gaskets combined with the plate foam and the switch pads as well is a little bit too much. I would say if it was separated, it would have been better, because ultimately it becomes so muted because you cannot use the board without the plate foam, which essentially has the gasket mount, and it has the switch pads too. So I would say combining them is a little bit off, so it does make it very muted keyboard. It doesn't sound too bad. It actually sounds pretty nice. It has a nice feel to it as well. Let's talk about sound first, but keyboard wise, sound wise, is actually pretty decent. Not amazing, but pretty decent. The wireless works well too. Yeah, it's not too loud, but I mean, if you want to take it somewhere, like on a cafe, it's not gonna be too loud. Maybe you can put like long pole switches that are actually louder. These Alpha Yang linears at least make them a little bit louder, but relatively it's still more silent. Not silent, it's still a little bit more muted than most. So yeah, it's not your loudest keyboard. But speaking about typing feel, there is a slight bit of, not flex, but yeah, there's a little, you can move the PCB a little bit downwards, but it's not significant. I would say it's still quite firm. It has a nice soft bottom out to it, so gasket mount wise it works well. It's not your flexiest keyboard, so don't expect your keyboard to go boing boing boing, but yeah, it's pretty nice. Solid typing feel. I like it, don't have any problems. Pros about this keyboard has a very good the pros of the keyboard, it has very good stabs. I would say the stabs are pretty nice. Don't need to change the stabs, which is great. The case itself is pretty good, I would say. Has a nice E-coat to it, which is a bit more rough and textury. You might like it, you might not like it. It's not cold feeling, so it's nice. Visually, the keyboard looks pretty good with this nice splatter accent. The keycaps also matches well with it. The case looks good. The green color looks very fantastic on the board. Yeah, visually it's really good. Feel-wise, it's also pretty good. I think it's lacking in sound. Features-wise, it's pretty cool too, because you have Bluetooth 2.4 gigahertz wireless, and you have Bluetooth 5.2, and you can connect up to like 8 devices, which is pretty good. Hot swap as well, 5-pin hot swap, south facing. Good features, and it's pretty nice that you do have all of these features in one board. And essentially, if you're like really lazy to build a keyboard, if you're lazy to find all the parts, you're lazy to wait for pre-orders, I guess this is a easy keyboard to buy because it's in stock as well on Idobao. And then you can just ship it and it arrives on your doorstep, and then you can just immediately use it, and then you're done for. And you don't have to do anything with it. If you're happy with how it sounds, you don't really need to mod it. You can just really use it just as is, and it's already pretty good. So I would say this is more of a good stock form keyboard, but you can't really mod it too much, which is a little bit of a shame because of that gasket mount issue that I talked about. But relatively good. The keycaps are also pretty nice. These are cherry profile keycaps, but more of like the more rounded cherry profile. It's good. I think these are PBT keycaps, but yeah, decent font. Nice spacebar platter. So I think it's a pretty good board. Price wise, $279, not too bad, considering you get switches, keycaps, and I've talked about it. But yeah, I think it's okay pricing. Not the best pricing. It's not the cheapest keyboard out there. There's cheaper keyboards out there with similar features, but this has a good alu case. You know, it's a fantastic alu case with E-coat. So yeah, I think it's good. I think this board is pretty good, and thanks to Idobao for letting me build it and reviewing it.